Fucking A. I swear to God, Noah. All right. Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Bets NFL Week 18, Part 2. This is the Sunday edition, Sunday morning edition. You wake up with a cup of coffee, you watch these games, or I guess afternoon. We're spoiled on the East Coast. And
I was going to say, if you're
on the
East
West
Coast, you're waking up earlier than this. Hopefully, I mean, maybe you're hungover and waking up at rolling out of bed at 12:45 to come watch the games. But obviously, on the West Coast, I know it. You know, being in college in Arizona, I know the feeling. I always wake up hungover at 9:45 and watch football.
9:45, you crack a beer and there's fucking kickoff going on, dude. Oh, it's the best, dude. It's the best. And let me tell you, this is the first weekend off I have had since the football season started. And Noah Engelbretson, if you don't think I am betting on every single game, every single prop, and setting up 5, 8, 12 TVs, I don't give a fuck anymore, dude. I will set all those goddamn TVs up and bet literally everything, because this is the last week of regular season football. You hate to see it go, but you know what's on the other side. The best football of the year is on the other side, starting with Super Wild Card Weekend and going all the way through the Super Bowl. Noah, we are about to enter, I think, the most beautiful time of the year. Don't get me wrong. The weather might be crappy. You may not be able to step outside without shoveling 5 pounds of snow, 5 feet of snow, excuse me.
AJ, that's where you're wrong. The weather is not crappy.
What do you mean?
The weather is beautiful. We have beautiful football
that's right.
weather.
You're a fucking weirdo and you love snow.
I don't, but I do when it relates to football. We have beautiful football.
That's true. It's good football weather. Great football weather.
And you know, there's it looks like there's a good chance I might be at the divisional round game in Lambeau 2 weeks from now. So,
oh shit! The stockholder, Mr. Noah Engelbretson, will be able to give us a live report, hopefully, maybe, from Lambeau and the divisional game. Noah, I am eternally jealous, because if the Cardinals have a home game for the playoffs, which is not looking like they will, we'll get into that later.
Well, there's a decent chance the Cardinals play at the Packers for that divisional game, AJ.
Noah, like we've said,
are you coming up?
Go through Lambeau. Whoa.
Are you coming up here? Are you coming up here to watch it?
We'll see how Sunday.
That's all I'm saying.
We'll see how Sunday plays out.
Yeah.
We'll see how Sunday plays out.
Yeah, I mean, if the stars align, I mean, that might be something that needs to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm only down like 500 units or something like that, so I can definitely probably.
Yeah, it's a good year for you. It's a good year game.
It's a great. I mean, Noah.
I'm assuming that was 2021. I'm assuming you're not.
Yeah, no, 2022. 2022. I'm already up. I'm already up 50 units. Shout out hockey and me being able to actually watch hockey for the first time, because holy shit, these line makers have no idea what they're doing. Actually, shout out to the show Hammer Dan on the Pat McAfee network and everything. They had the headlines maker for FanDuel on the show, and they were like straight up. They were like,
let's not shout them out too much without getting royalty for it, you know.
Hey, I'll shout those boys out. Those boys out there, I have no problem. No royalties, nothing. Those boys are, honest to God, some of the most consistent gamblers. Like, we talk about how professional gamblers go 52, 53%. Bro, these guys are fucking good. Like, we're talking like 60%, bro, 65%. Like, especially this one guy, his name is Gump. He, no joke, his soccer picks are just stupid, bro. Like, he will just sweep a whole 15 game weekend, bro. It's unbelievable.
I may have to pay attention. I think I'm lifetime, because I do track all my bets. I think I'm about like 12, somewhere between like 12 and 15% on soccer.
That's not bad.
Which no, it's really bad. If I just blind picked anything without paying attention to it, I'd be better.
Hey, World Cup will be different though. We will cover the World Cup heavy. I'm really excited for the World Cup.
It's a small sample size, but I'm telling you, I think I'm around like 15% lifetime on soccer. It's really bad.
I'm probably around the same. And here's the thing, like since I started my new job and like I have to watch soccer, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick a team. And Noah, you know my teams that I like: Bears, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Cubs. We don't win shit, and so I went with Bayern Munich.
You're in that good Chicago Arizona split where you're just miserable. I mean the Cubs won recently. The Cubs won recently,
starting,
so that you have something. At least you weren't
starting Monday.
At least you weren't White Sox.
January the 10th. I'm about to be a very happy Bears fan, so I'm excited for that. January 10th is going to be a big day for us Bears fans, and I cannot fucking wait for the 10th.
So before we get into bets here, AJ, there's rumors swirling about Jim Harbaugh to the Bears. Are you?
So
do you like that or hate it?
So
you love it or hate it?
Report. So I saw that report. And I'm laughing. The only reason I'm laughing is because the report I saw before that was Jacksonville is going to be interviewing Harbaugh, and then the report
there's no way he's going to Jacksonville. He played for the Bears, so I think
I understand who he played for, Noah. However,
and with Michigan's current success, I think the only team he's leaving Michigan for would be the.
What success? He beat Ohio State. What success?
True.
He beat Ohio State. What success?
I'm not going to argue because I'm totally a fan of the Michigan slander. I love it, but I'm just saying he gave Michigan the best season they've had in decades.
Absolutely.
But he's reportedly willing to leave for the right NFL job. I think that right job for him, he's talking about the Chicago Bears job. How do you feel?
Listen.
Do you love or do you hate Jim Harbaugh as the next Bears head coach?
You're going to be shocked by my answer, I think. I love it.
I'm not shocked by that. I mean,
I like success it, with San Francisco. Not for the reasons you think. I like it because I think he will be in the wrestling business. We have what's called transitional champions, and it's when you're moving the title belt from one very popular good guy to another good guy, but you have to have the bad guy win in between. And that's what we call a transitional champion. They lose to the next new good guy, and then they go on and have great success. I think Matt Nagy will be very good at setting up this team. I'm sorry, not Matt Nagy. Fuck that guy. He's getting fired on Monday. I think Jim Harbaugh would be very good at setting us up for success to the point where we're making the playoffs consistent. But then we're going to run into that Packers problem where we're not winning the NFC title game. We're not even getting out of the divisional round. And then we bring in the next coach who is there with all the pieces set up but can actually push us forward and get us in there. Again, I still think the next head coach of the Bears should be Mike Ditka. I don't think we're going to win another Super Bowl without Ditka. That's besides the point. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't bring him up as a coaching option if he was dead. Well, actually,
I don't think anybody in their right mind would bring him up as a coaching option regardless, but
anyway, I do think Jim Harbaugh would be good for the Bears in the short term. I do not think he would be good for long-term success in the end. And that sucks because Justin Fields is going to be a really good quarterback. We have seen him shown greatness. He just needs a guy who can develop him. And hey, McNamara, I hate the guy, but he had a good season this season. And if that is what Jim Harbaugh can do with a young kid who's not played a snap in the NFL, I would be excited to see what he can do with a fresh mold that is Justin Fields, who's played some snaps and knows how the NFL works, but is ready to learn. And I'm not saying Jim Harbaugh's a offensive quarterback guru, but I think he would be a lot more stable than a Matt Nagy or I don't even know who the fuck else I want Eric Bieniemy. That's who I want. I want Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's going to leave that Kansas job. He won't leave Kansas.
Yeah. We'll get into our picks here in a second. I think Fields is going to end up falling trap to having, 2 GMs and 3 head coaches over his first 5 years, and Bears are going to do what they do best and just fucking
if there
ruin
is,
another quarterback. No, they're going to
if there's
ruin
one
another
thing
quarterback.
the Bears do not.
They
do
ruin
turnover
quarterbacks
on their head. They absolutely ruin, but they are not a team that goes through 2 head coaches and 3 GMs within 5 years. That's just not what they do. Like, I mean, they stuck around with Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace for the last 4 years, and now they're just gonna. And we don't even know if they're moving off of Ryan Pace. We don't even know if they're moving off Matt Nagy yet. We just assume that the stuff we're reading is true. He's also rumored to get fired over Thanksgiving and over Christmas, and now here we are in New Year's with another rumor about him getting fired. I don't buy it until the papers are signed and I see that tweet that's from Adam Schefter that says Bears fans can fucking celebrate finally.
God, I fucking hate Schefter, but
I know you do, but it's him or Rap Sheet. I prefer Rap Sheet, but
I love Rappaport. But that's a story for
the McAfee show. I'm a big McAfee fan, if you can't tell. I love Rap Sheet on the McAfee show is one of the funniest things on the weekly. It's awesome.
Either way, that is a story for another day when those firings
I'm happy
start.
Now. No, you put me in a good mood. I'm a happy person.
When those firings start happening, in a week, next week, 2-3 weeks, we will inform you more on what's going on.
All that shit. All that shit.
You do have Jacksonville, who is interviewing. I think that the 2 names I've seen so far is Tampa Bay. Not Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is their defensive coordinator, their offensive coordinator.
The OC, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be at Jacksonville. Why can't I think of his name?
I can't think of it either. But they're interviewing him, and then I also saw Harbaugh. Was that a red herring, or are they?
I don't think they're interviewing Harbaugh.
They should. He'd be good. He'd be good there. Anyway, let's set the table here. Thank you for listening so far. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, the other thing was Nathaniel Hackett, the Packers offensive coordinator, is also interviewing for the Jacksonville job.
Interesting. I mean, a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, you really can't turn that up. If you're an offensive coordinator especially, that's your wet dream right there. I mean, that and Aaron Rodgers, but he's already had Rodgers, so you want something new.
Yeah, I should. Byron Leftwich. Those are the
Byron
2 that have been
Leftwich,
announced.
that's who it fucking is. Yeah.
Yeah, who played quarterback for Jacksonville. That's why the Jacksonville connection was in my mind.
Played for the Patriots too, didn't he?
I don't know if he ever played for the Patriots. I don't remember, but I know he played a number of seasons for Jacksonville at quarterback, but he's been doing a tremendous job with Tampa at offensive coordinator because God knows Bruce Arians doesn't know how to call a fucking offense on his own. But
us Cardinals fans know that for a fucking fact.
Either way, those 2 have been reported to have, be over this next week interviewing for the Jacksonville job, which would be interesting.
Hell yeah. Well, let's set the table. Welcome to Degenerate Bets. I'm the Brofict one, AJ. With me, as always, is Noah Engelbrecht. And we haven't talked in a while, and so we just had to talk about the shit that was coming up. And that's going to really impact the next couple seasons.
Had to get the takes out of the way before we got into bets. We might spice up the bets with a little. We might spice up the bets with a little bit of. I was going to say we might spice up the bets with a little bit of takes this week, just because a little bit time crunched. The holidays have changed things, so we might be doing a little hybrid takes bets throughout what's going on here. But it should be fun. We're in for a fun time, right?
We do is fun.
Right, AJ?
And I got enough beer here for a couple episodes. I think we do what we do every week, where we joke about not betting every single NFL game, but then we just end up taking the entire slate and then having a parlay worth $250,000 and it not hitting.
I think we just dive into the slate.
Dude, and it is a beautiful slate. If you haven't seen our Saturday coverage, go back an episode. We covered the
AJ,
Saturday games.
I think there is a lot of money to be made on this slate. The spreads are it's week 18. A lot of teams have a lot to play for. A lot of teams have nothing to play for. There are some huge fucking spreads. And I think there is a lot of great opportunity to make some money on this slate.
Noah, I couldn't agree with you more. Out of all the weeks that I've looked at it and I've said I'm going to make money this weekend, this is the one where this is my weekend. I am taking all of the money from my sports book and I'm going to buy some expensive weed or something like that. I deserve that. We've worked hard this season. We deserve to spend our winnings a little bit. But Noah, let's talk about these huge fucking spreads with our first game for the early slate on Sunday, January the 9th. You got the
what? Sorry, repeat that for me one time.
I would say cut for edit, but you and I both know I'm not going to edit that shit out. So you've got the Tennessee Titans.
It's a raw show. We don't edit shit. We don't edit shit here. If you're new to the show, we don't edit anything out because
we don't.
We're
like
fucking
sports.
organic. We're organic. We say some shit that might be controversial, but you know what? Who the fuck cares? It's going in the broadcast.
You got a problem with that? Go fuck yourself. How about that? Don't listen.
Yeah,
we don't give a shit.
You don't like it? You don't like it? Just don't listen.
We're already doing this for no money, so if we haven't one less listener, fuck us. Like, no, it doesn't make that big of a difference.
If you don't like it, don't listen.
And everything, that's a different.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but if you do have a contact to anyone in the media world, you can email me at BroFitContent or go ahead and DM. Fuck off. Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans. Noah, you got a 10.
There's the pick. That's what I wanted.
You got 10.5 point spread. You got over 42.5. The Titans obviously clinching the division, being the favorite going into this game, considering the Texans are the second worst team in football. Also, I don't know if you saw this. I believe the Jacksonville Jaguars will be interviewing Bill O'Brien, our boy.
Oh, God. No NFL team should ever do that. He deserves to be a head coach, but for a college team where he can't absolutely train wreck the roster like he did to the Texans.
Bro,
and he will.
He'll
go to another SEC team, I feel like.
Yeah.
He might do
Bama
one more
now,
year
right?
at Alabama. Yeah, he might do. He's the offensive coordinator at Bama, and he's doing great. He's doing great because everybody does great under Saban. Saban's like the he's like the giving tree. It's just like
Saban calls up those guys, and he's like, "Hey
you
guys,
can't go wrong.
You want to come over and coach on a team that's guaranteed to at least get you to the national championship, and we'll pay you like a fuck ton of money." Oh, I don't know, Nick.
I just
like, what the fuck?
It's funny because he loses one or both of his coordinators every single year.
Every year, but it doesn't fucking matter.
And nobody talks about that. Like, that needs to be talked about. The fact that Saban continues success, like, that's just a testament to how good of a head coach he is, that he's losing one or both of his coordinators almost every year and has to replace them. And he always replaces them, and they always become head coaches at like other prominent schools. And then Saban has
NFL teams,
and then Saban has a completely dominant record against his former head assistant coaches. But anyways,
yeah, I think
Tennessee
the
and
big
Houston
storyline going into this game is whether Derrick Henry starts or not.
He won't. He won't.
I think he'll get a couple snaps.
No, I think he hasn't been officially ruled out, but he's not going to play.
Well, regardless, 10.5 points. That is so many points. But this Texans team, Noah,
they don't need him.
Fucking bad. You're right. Titans don't need him. Texans are so bad that they can just coast through. Honest to God, Tannehill doesn't even need to start this game. And if Tannehill doesn't start this game, Noah, I still kind of like 10.5.
I would take 10.5 without Tannehill starting. I mean, their starters are going to play the whole game because they need this one seed.
They do need.
They need this one seed because they need Derrick Henry to come back in full force, and that extra week rest is huge.
No, 100%.
And they need it.
They're going to come out the rest blazing.
Oh, and you bet your ass this Tennessee team's going to be playing hard as fuck because they know how much they need this one seed.
What's the first half? First half line is Titans 6.5, 21.5 total.
I mean, they just beat the Dolphins, what, 27-3, 30-3, something like that last week.
And interesting to see, 50
no contest.
The bets percentage, you got 50-50 on the Texans and the Titans. However,
on the spread,
91% of the money is coming in on the Titans. So that means the 9% is betting the Texans, and they are thinking that they're covering because that's too many points. Noah, I'm not going to be one of those fucking idiots. I'm not going to overthink this game. I'm going to be a square in this game. I'm taking the Titans minus the 10.5, excuse me, and then I'm also going to take them first half minus the 6.5.
I'm on the same page with both of those.
You gotta be, honestly.
I will be taking a lot of underdogs ATS this week. This is not one of them. Like I said,
no.
The Titans with Derrick Henry not quite ready to play this week. That extra week of rest means so much. There's no way they lose this game to the Texans.
No chance at all. No chance at all.
And
Noah, let's move on.
I do have some possible upset picks coming later on some of these games this week. Like I said, this is not an upset pick that I see happening by any means.
I also
Titans locked down the one seed in the AFC, and they do
100%,
and they do it by a good margin.
Now, Noah, this next game, I want to tell you, I hate with every bone in my body because I was promised to see Fitzmagic by the end of the season. And here we are. No Fitzmagic. What the fuck?
Let's
Where's my boy?
I think we can cruise through this one, AJ.
Fine, we'll cruise through it, Noah. You got Washington football team as a 7-point favorite against the Giants. This is an easy one.
It's a shit game that nobody cares about unless you're a Washington or a New York Giants fan.
Yes, absolutely. This is a game that means absolutely nothing. Washington minus the 7 against the Giants. Total is at 37.5. Washington minus the 7. Thank you very much. See you at the window.
I hate everything about this game, and I don't even want to pick it. Like it's annoying, but
I'm going to pick it, Noah.
No, I'm going to take Washington minus the 7 because the Giants literally had a net -10 pass yards last week. Mike Glennon, not at all the guy.
No.
Jake Fromm, not at all the guy.
No.
I don't really trust Washington, but the Giants suck so bad that we're just going to take. I hate the spread at 7 is the problem, but I'm taking Washington.
Terrible number, but
it's fine.
I think they win by 10 points, so we're fine.
It's okay. I'll just take it and we'll see what happens.
Now this next game is kind of interesting, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. It opened at a 9.5-point spread, and it's at 15 now. I'm talking about the Colts visiting the Jaguars. Colts are a 15-point favorite, obviously. 44 points is the total. Noah, I do think one thing that needs to be mentioned is that the Colts historically do not have a good record in Jacksonville.
They've lost their last 5 in Jacksonville.
Yep.
I think they're 2-5, 2-6 in their last 7 games against the Jaguars.
You
This
also have
spread is
69% of the bets, 94%
this
of the money on the Colts. You have as you're saying, a spread over 2 touchdowns.
this spread is egregious, AJ. I hate this Jacksonville team. I hate everything that's going on with them, but this spread is egregious.
It's egregious.
You give me a 15.5-point spread in any fucking game, any year, I'm always going to take the underdog to cover the 15.5. This is the NFL. Crazy shit happens in the NFL.
No,
I don't think there's a single team in a year that I would take against another team at 15.5 and be confident that they're going to cover a 15.5-point spread. Now, 8.5, 9.5, sure, but 15.5, that is such a big spread. And also, I feel like Destiny's playing into this a little bit, like with this Raiders-Charger game late.
dude.
Everybody's talking about these scenarios, and all these scenarios involve the Colts losing to the Jaguars. I don't think they're gonna lose, but I think the Colts are gonna have their hands, like, the Jaguars are getting gassed up this entire week. Like, everyone's gassing them up. They're like, oh, like, not intentionally, but unintentionally, they're like, well, if the Jaguars win, it opens up all these other possibilities, blah, blah. If the Jaguars win. And so if you're on the Jaguars, all you're hearing all week is if the Jaguars win, like, blah, 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 blah. The only reservation I have is if they win, they might give up the number 1 draft pick.
No, they don't.
To the Lions.
No. Oh, yeah, you're right. If they lose, they give up. No, I'm sorry. If they win, they give it up. If they win and the Lions lose,
if they win
give
and
it
the
up.
Lions lose. But I think they're going to play hard. I think they're going to cover the 15.5. I don't think they're going to win, but I think Jacksonville's been very much gassed up this past week, and they're going to come out hard.
Yeah. No, that ain't happening. That ain't happening, bro.
You're taking the Colts on 15.5 points.
No, I'm not taking the Colts off 15.5 points because I'm learning from you, Noah. I am doing something that I have ridiculed you for, and I would like to apologize now. I'm getting points. I'm taking the Colts minus 20.5 at plus 165 because this game is going to be a blowout.
I mean, minus 165.
No, Colts minus 20.5 is plus 165.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, did you not get that part? Yeah, no. This is a blowout.
You think they're going to win by 21 or more?
Easy.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. From watching sports and everything, whenever you bring up a statistic like this, like, oh, the Colts are 5-0 the last time in Jacksonville. Oh, they're 2-7. Blah blah blah. He hasn't missed a field goal in the last 13 attempts from this range and everything. The fuck happens? The opposite always happens of the statistics,
No.
Noah. I will not be handicapped by analytics in this game.
I completely disagree. It keeps going until it breaks, and you never know when it's going to break, and nobody knows when the fuck it's going to break, but eventually everything breaks.
I know when it's going to break. This streak's breaking this week. And you know why I know that, Noah? I'm a fucking god among men. I know when shit's going to happen. The Colts are going to win by 21 or more points, and that's why I'm taking Colts minus 20.5 plus 165.
All right. You're entitled to do that.
Mic drop there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm responsibly betting that. I'm not like betting a mortgage on that or anything, but I'm responsibly betting it. Shit.
I feel like there's a couple other games here we can zoom through. Pretty quick.
Like Bears Vikings real quick. Or wait, no. You want to talk Bengals Browns?
God, you threw 2 games at me. Sure, yeah, Bengals Browns is fine.
Bengals, Browns. Browns. Minus the 6. Because, excuse me, Jamar Chase is on the COVID list. Joe Burrow is not playing.
No Baker.
No Baker.
Not
Casey
that
Keenum
matters.
will be starting. 37-point total. I don't know. I don't know, so I'm taking the Bengals plus 6.
Yeah, given the spread, I'm also jumping on Bengals plus 6. I think the Browns win this game.
Yeah, I think they do too. But for some
Because-
reason, I don't even know who the Bengals fucking backup is, but I think
Yeah, I don't think
Fine.
there's a whole lot of I don't think there's a whole lot of drop off between Baker and Case Keenum.
no.
I am taking the Bengals plus 6 because that line is like way too big for me to fathom. But I do think the Browns squeak away a win in this one somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, squeak it away though. They're not winning this outright or anything like that.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say about this game.
Let me get one more
Doesn't really
game
matter.
we can zoom through, and then we can cover the 2 games we both care
Also,
about in the afternoon
well,
slate.
Actually, let me real quick say it's very interesting to me that the Bengals are deciding to rest Joe Burrow and some other starters, considering the fact that they still have a hypothetical. I mean, they need a lot of things to happen for them to get the 1 seed, but they are not out of the 1 seed, I don't think. And they're kind of just sitting down and taking the 2, 3, or 4, whatever.
Hey, they're the Cincinnati Bengals. Can you tell me the last time they were in the playoffs? They're just happy to be invited to the
5
fucking
or 6.
dance.
Exactly. And they're radiating that energy, which is why they are not going anywhere. Which is why they're not going anywhere in the playoffs, which is what I've been saying all season, right?
Yeah.
And well, not all season. At the beginning of the season, I was like, oh, they won't make the playoffs. And then when they came out hot and were off to like a 5-2 start, then I was like, okay, well, I'm like, they look like a playoff team, but they look like a first round loss team. I still feel the same way. I think they're going to get beat at home by potentially the Chargers. I think if they play the Chargers at home, I think the Chargers go into Cincinnati and beat them.
All right, we'll save that for another episode because I have takes on that as well. Noah, next game I don't give a fuck about either, and no one else does. Steelers, Ravens. Lamar Jackson, from what I've been seeing, what I've been reading, is not going to play in this game.
He's not.
He's perfect.
Been ruled
so it's
out
Justin Huntley,
officially.
right? Tyler Huntley, my bad. Sorry, dude. I tried, dude. I tried to keep all these names in my head. I'm not looking them up. I'm doing this off the top. I'm doing my best. And these beers may be 8-9%. Like I don't know.
Huntley has played. He's played decently.
He's played decent, and that's why I think the spread is Ravens minus the 3.5 over under 41. I'm taking Big Ben in his last ride just for shits and giggles. Give me Steelers money line because I don't give a fuck about this game at 3.5 points.
I agree. Big Ben wins his last game in the NFL.
I'm so sorry. No. We've been saying his name wrong. Sorry, Big Ben.
Medium large
Ben. Shout out.
I think over the course of the season, he's gotten back to big. He came into training camp medium large. He's back to big. He's back to big right now.
Beers, eating some Philly cheesesteaks or something like that. Like
some Pittsburgh cheesesteaks, which are just like literally just like steak and metal, just gnawing on fucking.
That's why you can get hit by 5 fucking people and then still throw the ball 75 yards down.
Oh my god! Fucking shout out to Big Ben.
Shout out! Hey, seriously, shout out! Great career. Please fucking retire, but great career.
I'm not really ready for him to leave the NFL. You know, he's been one of those names that I've just like both of us have like grown up watching. He's been around for so
Oh yeah.
long. He's always been there. Dude has taken a fucking beating. He's maybe taken more of a beating over his career than anybody I've ever seen. He's
what,
felt like
17 or 18 years in the league?
18 years now.
Unbelievable. And the damage
Never had
and everything.
Never had a losing season.
Never had same as Mike Tomlin. Shout out.
But Tomlin's only been there 15. Roethlisberger's been there like 18.
Fair. That was Dungy before, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but
wasn't it?
Dude seems like he's just been playing injured like forever. Half the time. I mean, he just plays through anything. So, he's truly a Madden. He's a Madden type of guy. He's an all Madden type of guy. You know, yeah. He's just playing through whatever the fuck he wants. The fact that he ran a couple quarterback sneaks this year with how immobile he is, I mean, tremendous to watch.
Unbelievable.
I don't know.
Last thing I have to say about this game really quick.
I'm taking Pittsburgh plus 3.5, I think. And, you know, I'm taking a money line too, just because I want Big Ben to win his.
You gotta take the money line, bro.
I want Big Ben to win his last game. I think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, despite the off the field issue he had, which we don't need to talk about.
Fun fact: Ian Rappaport, direct quote from him. I've enjoyed the joke of Big Ben being on the injured list for the last 15 years because he's legit been listed as injured for the last 15 years. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Shout out Big Ben. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the epic games and everything. But fuck you. That wasn't a catch in the Super Bowl. The Cardinals should have won that game. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, another guy who's about to go fuck
Cardinals
himself,
fans,
Matt Nagy. Okay. You got the Chicago Bears. I'm ignoring you. The Chicago Bears at Minnesota Vikings.
This
Chicago
is the
Bears
game
plus 5.5.
This is the game I'm looking most forward to this week. Covering.
So the Bears can just get the shit kicked out of them?
No. Okay, just continue, and I will gloat later.
All right. So the total is at 44 points. Justin Fields is on the COVID-19 list. Matt Nagy is getting fired on Monday.
Andy Dalton's starting.
You know what? And that's what I hate. Why the fuck are we starting Andy Dalton? Why the fuck aren't we starting Big Dick Nick?
Put in Big Dick Nick.
He literally, the game he started, he won. Did he not?
Or he's 1-0. No, he's 1-0.
He's 1-0 with the Bears. And these motherfuckers have the audacity to start a guy that has lost us games. We are fine putting a rookie in who is guaranteed to lose us games, but we have a Super Bowl MVP quarterback who has won us a football game, and we're just going to sit him on the bench and start the fucking Red Rocket.
Also paying him $13 million.
Yeah, paying both of them way too much fucking money to sit on the bench and let Justin Fields fucking fail. Fuck you, Matt Nagy. I'm so glad you're gone. But I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors at Alabama. But fuck off. Get out of the Bears.
I don't think Nagy's quality enough for Saban to hire, but
yeah, I know. I'm taking Bears money line.
AJ, oh God, that's interesting.
I hate it.
I do have
I have to. Because the fucking Vikings are going to choke this one away. They're going to fucking triple doink it.
You know, the Vikings do wear the color purple for a reason.
They fucking choke all the time.
It's because they're always choking. This is a bowl game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm dubbing it a bowl game. It is our coach is about to be fired bowl, is what it is. Because Zimmer,
I don't think Zimmer's getting fired. Zimmer's not getting fired.
Well, you are foolish. Fired. You are foolish if you don't think Zimmer's getting fired because this is the last game. This is the last game for Nagy. This is the last game for Zimmer. As a Packers fan, I'd love to just, tip my chair back and gloat because this is funny as fuck.
Fuck you, okay?
I love
this
it.
is not funny to the people who have to fucking suffer through this shit week in and week out, Noah. God damn it. Every Monday morning I have to go to work and they have to, why are you a fucking Bears fan, AJ? And I'm trying, guys. It's not fun, Noah. It's not funny.
Now, here's the thing. The Bears have a lot of motivation for this game.
They do.
Because their first-round pick does not belong to them.
Nope.
So
because we had to trade it away to get another starting quarterback, Noah, because we don't fucking have enough on the roster. Because if you don't have 5 fucking quarterbacks on the roster, you don't have any fucking quarterbacks, apparently. God damn it, I hate the Bears.
So there is no sense in tanking if you're the Bears because you don't even have a first-round pick. So the Bears are going to be playing hard. I mean, they're going to have a complete mistake starting fucking Andy Dalton. Foles would win this game outright.
Because he's a Super Bowl MVP or something like that? I don't fucking know. Why else would we sign him? We didn't even start him a fucking game when we signed him. We had to start Mitch Trubisky. Oh my god.
I do think the Vikings win this game, but not by the 5.5 spread. I'm taking Chicago to cover because the Vikings. If we've learned anything about the Vikings this year is that they love to make things interesting and they love to bring it down to the wire. I think this game ends on either a made or a missed field goal by one of the two teams.
Yeah, obviously, because it's the fucking Bears. So I'm going to be sitting there. It's going to be tied. They're going to kick the game-winning field goal and be like, holy shit, the money line's going to hit. And then, oh my god, a fucking quadruple doink. And then it goes into overtime, and the Vikings, I've already accepted that money doesn't exist anymore. I've already bet on them. I'm fucking done. Anyway, can I talk about a team that kind of brings me a little bit of joy?
I guess. I mean, we got, 2 games left on the noon slate? Maybe one?
One game left on the morning slate, actually.
One game. Oh, good. I love this game. I love this game. I love this game.
Okay. I'm just going to say the line, and I want to laugh. 3.5.
Makes.
What the fuck?
and the fact that it hasn't changed. The fact that it hasn't really moved.
It hasn't moved. We're talking about the Packers visiting the Lions. Packers are a 3.5-point favorite. Don't get me wrong. Came out earlier this week on the Pat McAfee show. And again, another shout out. I listened to the show or whatever. Please fucking hire us. He said, he'll play probably first quarter, first half, but then it's all on Jordan Love. But I don't give a fuck if it's on Jordan Love. I don't give a fuck if it's on me. I don't give a fuck if it's on an undrafted person they bring in to play quarterback. I mean, the offensive weapons, the defense, even your depth at defense has been a lot better. I'm taking Green Bay minus 3.5. And honest to God, Noah, you ready for this?
Yeah.
It's my first lock of the century of the year. Packers minus 3.5. At minus 105. Are you fucking kidding me? At minus 105, bro? I will take that shit all day because it's going to move to 4. It's going to move to 4 at kickoff. They are holding at 105.
Like that out.
Everywhere I'm looking at is holding at 105. That is going to move to 4 before the kickoff.
AJ, this line is fucking ridiculous.
So bad.
Packers have announced they're starting their starters for at least one half.
Minimum.
Right. So Rodgers, Adams, all those other guys are playing at least a half. Playing against Detroit, the Packers have been a little notorious for getting off to, some slow starts this year, but I'd imagine they're up by 14, 17 points at half. If they pulled the starters at that point, who cares? I mean, Jordan Love he can maintain a 17-point lead. He can maintain a 14-point lead, no problem. And I think we might see Jordan Love playing better than we expected him to. He's playing against the Lions defense, you know. This line might be the most screwed up line I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Considering that the Packers starters are playing for at least a half.
Yep. You know what the half line is?
No, I would love to. What, 1.5, 2.5?
-3.
And that is maybe the biggest lock I can ever tell you to take. I don't know.
Honestly,
it's ridiculous. Either
I'm
Vegas
Packers -3.5 at -105, and then I'm taking them -3.5. Like, what the fuck are we even talking about still?
I don't know. Either Vegas
there
knows
is no
something.
If this person plays or whatever, but
either Vegas knows some like psychedelic shit that nobody else knows, or they're just fucking dumb. And this
is true.
This seems like one of the most screwed up lines I've ever seen. Well, especially because
I will say
ESPN's FPI gives the Packers like an 81% chance of winning, and the line's only 3.5.
Yeah, but that's just a win.
But 81% and 3.5 do not line up ever. Like, something's weird with this line. Something is weird. Either Vegas is egregiously wrong, or they know something that the rest of us don't.
So when I was listening to the interview earlier on Hammer Down, the one thing they said is, we don't care how much money is coming in. Let me check how much money's coming in on this. Give me one sec.
You should shed those hiccups, dog.
Huh?
You should shed those hiccups.
Dude, I'm fucking trying, but none of these lines are scaring me, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Packers lines, first of all, over it at Packers -11. That's what the line opened at. Jesus Christ! You got 55% of the bets on the Packers. How much money was on the Packers, Noah?
Over 90?
15%.
Why? I don't understand why all the money's on the Lions. That's kind of ridiculous because Packers are going to cover. They're playing their starters. They're playing the starters. Yeah. At least for a half. God, dude, people really fucking hate Jordan Love. That's what I'm starting to realize.
They do.
He's not that bad. I mean, he's no fucking Aaron. He's no Aaron Rodgers, but you start comparing Jordan Love to like a Baker Mayfield or like, you know, other like, you know, he's played one game in the NFL. If you compare him to like Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, I bet he's right up there in the 1-2 spot among like rookie quarterbacks. I mean, he's not a rookie. He's sat and practiced for 2 years, but
yeah.
I think other than maybe Mac Jones, like he's probably better than fucking Trevor or Zach Wilson or Trey Lance at this point. Like, how much can you expect out of a guy in his second year, like who hasn't played at all? No.
I agree. And that
throw him into the fire at some point, right? Like,
yeah, eventually. And this would be a good time to do it. But that does bring us to the end of the morning slate, or the early afternoon slate, depending on where you're at. We will be back with the evening slate, Sunday night, Monday night game, all of your degenerate locks.
AJ will get his hiccups under control by then.
No fucking.
And we'll be back with you.
Yeah, more degenerate locks, takes, and picks because that's all we fucking do is degenerate shit. So we'll see you soon.